A quiet morning. The morning sun slipped gently through the sheer curtains, spilling soft light across the wooden floorboards of the old house. Dust hung in the air like suspended memories, each particle catching the sun as if trying to speak. The silence was absolute to complete for a home that once overflowed with laughter, footsteps, and late-night whispers. Kamil stood in the middle of the living room, hands still in the pockets of his wool coat. He hadn't touched anything. It had been 12 years since he last stepped into this space. Yet everything remained where it had always been. The floral rug, faded from years under sunlight, the pale blue armchair by the window, and the wooden clock that still ticked gently, though it no longer kept the correct time. He inhaled deeply, the scent of clove and old paper stirring something deep inside. This was his mother's house. Now it was no one's. She had passed away 2 weeks ago, quietly in her sleep, in this very home where she had spent her final years, waiting for someone who never returned. Him! Kamil exhaled slowly, his breath shaky, as if something inside him was breaking loose after being locked away too long. He wandered toward the small table by the fireplace and reached for the old kettle, paused, then let his hand fall. Everything here reminded him of her too. His gaze fell to a stack of envelopes, neatly tied with string tucked inside the drawer of the hallway desk. He didn't remember them. Most were bills and notices, but one caught his eye. It was cream-colored, its edges slightly browned. His name was written on it in the familiar looping hand of someone he hadn't seen in over a decade. Alia. His fingers trembled as he untied the ribbon and pulled the envelope free. It had been sealed, but not mailed. No stamp, no address, just his name, Kamil. A simple name on a simple envelope. And yet it felt heavier than any burden he had ever carried. He didn't open it. Not yet. Instead, he walked to the window and looked out over the olive tree in the yard, the one they had planted together years ago, when hope had no reason to doubt its future. The tree had grown, tall and strong, roots deep in the earth. Unlike them, he closed his eyes, remembering how she used to sit beneath it with a book in her lap, sometimes reading aloud, sometimes just tracing the veins of the leaves with her fingertips. She used to say the tree reminded her of faith, quiet, deep, and always reaching upward. People change, she had once whispered to him, but the truth doesn't. That's what faith is for, to remind us of the truth when we forget who we are. He opened his eyes again. The tree stood silent, but somehow it answered. Kamil turned back toward the letter. Its presence now felt like a voice in the room, a whisper from another time. Tucking it into his coat pocket, he made a quiet promise. I'll read it when I'm ready. But he knew readiness wasn't the point. Some truths waited only so long. Behind him, the old clock ticked once more. The morning light shifted slightly, and the silence, though not broken, no longer felt so empty.